Greetings, everyone. Um, it's good to see a good number. I'm sure more of us will be joining. But with us today is DocOfDesigns, a good friend of the community. He's been helping us with design and making iterations, giving feedback around our product designs, UI and UX as well. So today, DocOfDesigns will do a brief presentation, and then he'll get to hear what people are building. Some of you have already met him, but I'm sure design work doesn't end. So look at him as a resource to contact and to engage during these 15 days. So I'll just do a recap of what is expected of these sessions. So we have this program to mainly focus on go-to-market, and we have 5 sessions this week. These are headliner sessions, group sessions with a number of mentors. Following that, we will be sending a form to apologies. Let me just know where you lost me, guys. My internet tripped. Hey, Doc.
Matthew, I think you are at the form. You were talking
Oh,
about the
yes.
form. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we will provide a form to fill in some of your project details, your founders, co-founders, live link to the project, a GitHub link to the project, a pitch deck if you have any. If you don't have, it's okay. The mentors will help you with that. And a go-to-market plan, a 6 month go-to-market plan. There will be some assignments that the mentors are giving to give them a better idea of what you're working on, and also to give more context to your GTM, maybe gaps around the users you're targeting, your roadmap and goals, and such. So all this will be in the form. We'll try and send the form on Thursday after the final mentor session. And then on the 7th, should be on the 7th, we will reach out to the teams. We'll be having one-on-one sessions with the mentors till the 12th. Then on between the 12th and the 20th, the Scroll team and ourselves and the mentors will look at the project progress, and then the winner will be picked from the submissions. And then as well, Scroll will communicate on the way forward and the next phase in the founder support program. So welcome very much to everyone. DocOfDesigns, I think now the floor is yours.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. GM everyone, it depends on the location basically. But yeah, it's great being here. So my name is John, popularly known as Doc of Designs, but I would also like to meet everyone before I proceed. So can we just do a quick introduction? Each founders on this call currently.
All right, so Doc, let me just call them. So
Okay.
founder will say who they are and what they're building, just a line or two. So let's start with Crickson Joseph.
Okay.
Joseph Charana. I'm building Dead Time. This was a project from a hackathon, but I decided to move on with it. So Datetime is a collaborative platform for developers to post unfinished projects and other developers can revive them. Also, learners can take this as an opportunity to gain experience in a particular tech stack where they'll pick a certain project that aligns with their tech stack and continue it. Yeah, that's basically it.
Awesome.
Thank you. Fatuma?
Hi everyone, my name is Fatuma and I'm the founder and CEO of Deslink. Yes, I'm going with that. I know yesterday I said I'm working on something new, but I feel like that will take some time, so I'm going with this idea. So Deslink is a decentralized community-owned Wi-Fi network platform powered by Scroll blockchain payments. Basically, the mission is to bridge the digital gap by providing affordable and reliable internet to under-deserved communities. Yeah.
Thank you, Fatuma. Frank?
Oh, so is that all?
Yeah, I think we can go to Iano. Frank is not speaking.
Hi everyone. Hello.
Hello, Iano.
Oh, nice. My name is Yano. I'm building a prediction market that's specifically for football, just football, nothing else. And the reason why I'm here is because, first of all, I would love to get familiar with zero knowledge EVM itself, Scroll, and I also love to be in a space where I'm surrounded by founders because it's great. It's a great support system. And like for instance, Fatuma, when you say yesterday you wanted to build something different and today you have something else, we relate. We understand what you are saying because sometimes some days pass and we are all barely alive. We're just fighting to to survive another day, another week. So yeah, it's great to be with you all. And Doc of Designs, I look forward to your presentation.
Thank you, Iano. Joshua, David?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joshua David. So I'm building Syntonia. And so Syntonia is a workspace hub, a decentralized workspace hub that solves these fragmented coordinations for decentralized organizations and also for Web3 communities. Yeah, so basically just solving the issues of DAOs and Web3 communities, they juggle between tools like Discord for communication, Snapchat for voting, Notion for tax management. Then they also use other multi-sig for that. They like in a particular they can be juggling about 8 different tools just to solve it, just for to maybe to take a proposal down to to take an opinion in their community down to the proposal level and give tax. So, but Syntonia now is combining all those stuffs in one place now. So, Syntonia offers both communication, voting, proposals, and also DAOs can also manage their treasuries there and also see all the assets in. So that's what I'm building.
Thank you very much, Joshua. Next, and go to Josiah. Josiah, are you able to speak? All right. Then we can go to Kiminza.
So, hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I'm building a scroll source, which is a mod journal just to help you keep track of your moods through the day on a weekly basis and also on a monthly basis. So yeah.
Awesome. Nyakeo. No, I'll come back to Nyakeo in a bit. Ochi as well. If would you like to share what you're working on?
Hi, everyone can hear me.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can.
So my name is Eve, or rather Evelyn Ongoy, and I'm building Quiflix, which is our Web3 film box office. So we are dealing with NFT, utility NFTs and direct sales. Yeah, so it's majorly a box office where I can just, as a creator or as a film producer, I can just upload my film and I can sell it on a direct sell, and also I can just sell a utility NFT, which is resellable. Yeah, and I've been building for around like 4 months now. Actually, we are soft launching on Friday, so on Saturday, sorry. So yeah, it's a fun project, and yeah, I think yeah, we are on a good position.
Thank you, Eve. Look forward to your launch. We can go to Kieni. All right, as Kieni prepares, I'd like to welcome Steve to share what they're building.
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Steve Mambo, co-founder of BPesa. So BPesa is a mobile money transfer based on a stablecoin. And what we are offering our users who are twofold. One, the normal or the standard mobile money user is an opportunity for them to be able to do mobile money transfers at near zero rates, as well as also do cross-border transfer. Secondly, we're also empowering agents, the agents in the network, by one, providing them better commissions and also giving them an opportunity for them to earn yield from locked saving. So looking forward to the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Welcome, Pablo.
Hi, guys. Thanks for the intro, Mato. My name is Pablo. So for this round, I'm the co-founder and CTO of CarbonSeek, but for this round, I would like to put forth another product that we're building. We're calling it Forthbound Travel. And we're basically trying to open access to travel, international travel and local travel to the global south. We want to leverage the blockchain for payments, obviously, to on-ramping and off-ramping to suppliers, to flights, accommodation, and transfers. Would also like to leverage the blockchain to help in providing a savings program. So you basically buy savings credits on the platform and you can convert those into travel, and plus micro-insurance as well, although we've started with just booking the travel packages. Thanks.
Thank you, Pablo. And then part of the team, admin team is Roslyn. Roslyn, would you like to say something?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Roslyn Washuka. I am the communications lead. I'm basically the one who has been sending you all the messages. It's very nice to have you here. I think we've seen several projects from the previous founders program, and we have some new people over here. And I just encourage you to really, put your best foot forward, because we have gathered some really nice mentors that can basically help you see the entire roadmap for your business in the next 6 months. It's not just about the 1500, honestly, or creating a community for Scroll. We want to create a founder community, and we want you to feel welcome. Feel free to ask questions in the group. And yeah, reach out to me in case you need any clarification. Thank you.
Thank you, Roslyn. Next, I'll go to Nyakeo.
Hi everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm Nyakeo, developer in this Scroll program. Really impressed by some of the projects that we worked on during the hackathon and seeing them go forward with this founders program. And I hope you guys take advantage of the mentorship and continue building and getting ready to get your projects to market. And yeah, so looking forward to seeing the progress with the projects. So cheers, guys.
Thank you, Nyakeo. For those who are yet to deploy on Scroll, having your product live will be a requirement during submission. So please talk to Nyakeo in the Telegram group, and she will guide you on how to go about that, or your developer, connect your developer team to Nyakeo to see how to get deployed on Scroll. Next, then we have Ochi.
Hi guys, my name is Ochi. I'm part of the team, the admin team. I help with operations. Just excited to see how the projects will evolve through the program. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see the TTM plans you guys put together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I think we can get to the content of the program. Now, Doc, you have some context around what people are building. And so the floor is yours. We look forward to hearing and learning from you.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I got to hear everyone's introduction. So we'll be going right into it. Right. Give me a moment. Let me share my screen so that we can all follow along. So just let me know when my screen is visible. Okay, can collapse.
Yes, it is.
Oh, great. All right, awesome. So today we'll be looking at the founder's guide to product thinking and UX. Basically how to build products that people love. And yeah, this thing is. Sorry, give me a moment. Let me fix this.
Oh, I'm seeing Kenny's hand is up. You have a question?
Are you talking to me?
No, I saw Kenny's hand was up.
Oh.
So I don't know if he has a question. You can just let us know.
Kenny, we can't hear you.
Oh.
All right, then we'll come back to Kenny at the end of the session. So Doc, you can proceed.
Awesome. So we'll be going through this. So this is basically the agenda we'll be going through. Let's just move. So a brief intro about me. My name is John. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm a product designer with about 3 years of experience. Basically, all through my journey, I've worked with founders directly. Most of my journeys, I've worked with different founders across different products. Speaking of fintech, speaking of medtech, speaking of edtech, a lot, and including Web3, right? And one thing I, discovered
was when founders are building products at an early stage, most of them tend to overlook UI UX. Why? Because maybe they are considering the time for delivery and perhaps maybe resources. There are a lot of things that can contribute to that. They don't really understand the deep reason and the need for UI UX. They don't know that really design is equals to business outcome. Whatever is in your design, that is what will eventually influence your business. So just basically here to yap about that this afternoon. Yeah. So I dropped the keynote here. The best founders I've worked with are not the ones with the best idea. They are the ones who iterate fast, listen, and simplify. Emphasis on the simplify. Emphasis on the simplify. It's when users can understand your product in the first 3 seconds. That is when we can say you have a product. If you are building and it lands in the hand of someone that does not even know about the niche. For instance, the person's alien to anything Web3, alien to whatever you're building. And on the first glance, in the first 5 seconds, at least, the person cannot process what your product is about. The person cannot process what to do after clicking on a button or something. Then we cannot call that a good product. So I itemized a couple of things here, what most founders get wrong about design. First of all, they think design is UI. When I mean UI, I mean user interface, right? They just think design is all about beauty, those type of things. Whereas in reality, design is about problem solving. It's about clarity. It is just like I mentioned earlier, it is when users know what this application is about. It is when users know what they are meant to do on the application. That is when we can say you are building a successful product. And that's equals to reducing your chance of failure, right? So we can also say founders build before validating. Look at the key, the subtext I put there. Startups die because they build too much too early. Yes, it's wonderful to have great ideas. I mean, listening to all the ideas in the past couple of minutes, I was wowed. Builders, founders, they are bright minds, honestly, is something no one can contest. They are bright minds. The fact that they can just think of an idea now and start ideating on how to go about this is awesome. I really, really love watching this type of things, right? But when they are doing that, there are still some processes that cannot be negotiated. There are some processes that still have to be taken in due course for everything to come all together as a cohesive, beautiful product. So startups die because they build too much too early. They don't know how to segment that. Okay, for the first launch, we'll just launch so and so feature. Then maybe the next one will launch so and so feature. Some of them just want to jam pack everything at once and push it out there. And yeah, that leads to death of a startup. Then we also have designing for themselves, not users. Yes, this is a common mistake among founders, a big common mistake. They believe, okay, because they are the one thinking about the product, they are the one conceiving the idea. They feel they are the user. In reality, founders are not users, right? They themselves will be thinking of the product from their own standpoint. They themselves will be thinking of the product from their own standpoint. They fail to realize that there are so many, and when I mean many, there are a variety of users. We can say there are the type of users that probably cannot even see, okay, how would these people use your product? Are you considering that? Maybe they are the part of users that don't even understand English. Okay, how would they use your product? There are even people that are just new to phones and the likes. How would these people use your product? These are things that founders really don't consider. So that's one. Then no feedback loops. They don't do usability testing. I mean, if they even are thinking that, okay, they are the user, they just create a small team, maybe builder, they rarely include a product designer because they don't really see the need for it. They don't really see the need for it, which is one thing that can actually kill a startup. The need of the use of a product designer in your team at an early stage is very paramount. Why? Because they understand all these things about users. There is the business side of things, and that's what founders are concerned about. A product designer will come in and see things from your user side of things. Your user side of things is what will indirectly influence the growth of your business. It's indirectly what will determine the success of your business on the long run. So a product designer is a non-negotiable. So no feedback loops. A product designer will help in usability testing, help in collating data for analytics and the likes. They ignore emotions. Users don't just interact, they feel. If you think of it right now as you are sitting, if you have a product right now, or maybe I'm pretty sure every one of us has used the product one way or the other. When we are interacting with the products, if we think deeply, we will understand that we are going based on feelings, not based on what we are thinking. Because when you are using a product, there is the feeling side of things, there is the emotion side of things. How do I feel using this product? Am I feeling happy? Am I feeling relaxed? Am I feeling tensed? For instance, let's talk about fintech applications. Fintech applications deal with our money, a lot of money. Yeah. So when you're building products like that, you are to make your users feel calm. You are to make them feel secured. There are a lot of design principles that are guiding this, and that's what a product designer would come into your company, will come into your team to do. They help in this. Your product should communicate trust. It should communicate safety. It should communicate confidence. They should use your product and say, yeah, I want to come back and use this product again. Not the one that the first time they come into your product and the second time they're like, nah, there's no way I'm using that, and they uninstall the product. That's really something. So I dropped a little nugget there, founders takeaway. You are not building a product. You are designing a behavior. Just like I said, the feelings. You are designing a behavior. Now we are moving on to the mindset. How founders should think about design. The first thing we'll be talking about here, we'll be speaking about clarity and creativity. When we talk about clarity, when a founder think of an idea, it can be vague in their head, of course. Then they start breaking it down bits by bits. Then they start mapping out, okay, this will lead to this, this will lead to this, this will lead to this. Most of the time, like I said, they see things from a builder perspective. An engineer sees things from an engineering perspective, if this is functional or not. That's just what they are concerned about. While a product designer will see things holistically. See, okay, how does this step link to this step? Is all loose ends tied, something like that? For instance, I'm interacting with a product. And I click a button. For instance, let's take a fintech app, right? Or yes, I want to transfer a crypto coin, maybe USDC, to my friend. I open the app and I click send, going through everything, and I click send. Now, when I click send, what would I see? What would I see? Would I just see a blank page just there? Or you are meant to communicate something to me. I'm to see that, okay, there is a transaction that is going on. I should see the progress. If I don't see anything, I would be scared for my funds. I would be like, what's going on? Is my funds lost? This, that. And after the transaction is completed, that's why we have this thing that they call transaction order. After that, you see a breakdown, just to, tell your users that, okay, this is the action you just performed, right? So that's just a very, very good example, a very, very good example of what I'm trying to say. Complexity is expensive. Clarity is profitable. Complexities, if there can be as much as one little friction in the application, it can cause drop-off. And we all know what drop-off is, bounce rates. A lot of people will just leave the app. And that's how the startup will be dying. I can remember a case of one founder I was working with sometime beginning of this year, I think. While building the products, and that is, we link this now to feedback. So when we finished, we went through the UI flow, devs already built it, and we launched. We made sure we had a set of people before we launched to test the product. Why is this necessary? Why is this important? This is very, very important because we built it, we designed it, the founders, they will sit in from their own perspective. But once they give it out to people that are not in their circle, these people don't have a clue about who you are. They don't even care about your emotions. What they want to do is, I want to use this app. And they are the ones that will notice every right detail. And it's that detail that we note down as designers or as founders. We notice this thing, and that is what we go back to iterate on. That is what we build on. And that is how a successful product can be built, right? That's how a successful product can be built. So clarity is greater than creativity. There should be clarity before we talk about creativity. Design is communication. A UI is a conversation between the product and the user. I mentioned this earlier. Your product is basically, I'm interacting. It's like I'm talking to my best friend now, or I'm talking to you guys. It's an interaction. That's the same way we should view a product that we are building. It is you are not there. You are not there to tell the user, okay, click this button, check this page. It is what the user sees. So it's a mode of communication. Your app is speaking to your user. What would your users see? What would they feel? What would they hear, so to say, when using your application? Design as risk reduction. Yes, a lot of people skip design. I've mentioned this earlier because they just feel, when we build the product, we can come back to design. Hey. Design is not negotiable. The purpose of design is to avoid, let me give an example also. There was a product I was working on last year. Before I came in, no, even while I was there, the founders, there are different type of founders. There are the founders that don't hear word. And there are the founders that want to learn. They want to know what they don't know. And there are the founders that just feel that they know everything. So we hop on a meet call, iterate, go back. It got to a time that the thing was taking too long because there were two founders involved, bringing conflicting interests. It was a lot. And there are sometimes that maybe one of the founders will now go and meet one of the engineers that, okay, you build out this time. And eventually when we come to the meet call, oh God, there was just so many conflicting interests. What I'm just trying to point out is one thing that was faulty when I looked at the project was the fact that we did not go through a normal product development life cycle. A product development life cycle is one that considers this prototype, testing, sketches. These are the phase where the founder sits down with the designer. The engineering team can be involved in the stage because, when they also get the picture, it really helps them. This is where you break it down. The designer goes to Figma or whatever application is using, design the screen, maybe low fidelity. They hold a meeting, to review it. It's prototyped. They just see the step-by-step process. And from that, they can tie up every loose ends, even before engineers start building. This will really help the product on the long run. It will really help the product on the long run. The time that they will be using for the back and forth,
if they go through a normal product development life cycle, they will see that they've saved time, they've saved resources, and it's a beautiful product that they launch. So what I'm just trying to say is design is very essential. It's very essential. Then we move on to the next point. Start with outcomes. Start with outcomes. What feature and what feature should you build? I know you have the greatest idea in the world. I know you just want to ship out all the features. But wait, let's calm down. Let's do this in a systematic approach. It's like if you want to build a house now, you cannot just say you want to start building the roof. It's not possible. You will start from the foundation. After laying a foundation, you will have to even wait for some time. After foundation, you cannot just start mounting blocks and everything on top. There is a process for the cement to dry. So, that step-by-step process is non-negotiable. If you are building an house and you don't wait for the cement to dry, what will happen? We all know what will happen, right? So you just have to prioritize some features. Then when you've launched that, when your users are using it, you move on to the next. It's a layer by layer thing, right? So that's with outcomes. Then I dropped a little under there. Feature prioritization is a survival skill. Every version should have one core goal. One core goal. What do we want to achieve? Okay. Now there will now be like 3 or 4 actions that will help, that will be tied to that one goal. Aside from that, everything is nice. Everything is nice. So that's that for that. I dropped the nugget here again. Design is equals to business outcome. What really matters in design? What does design do? What exactly is design? Design helps in user retention. Design helps in your user actually trusting your product. Design eventually leads to conversion. What's the secret code? I put it there. Clarity is equals to faster user onboarding. If I can open your application and I know exactly what it is, from the onboarding to the welcome screen to the home page, everything is systematic, and I know that, okay, this is what I'm doing. I would obviously want to come back to your app. I would obviously. But if from the onboarding screen, I'm seeing something else, I land on the home page, I'm seeing something else. I'm like, what is this? That type of thing. So clarity is just a very essential thing. Then we are moving on to the founder's cheat framework. 4 check systems that every founder should use. Clarity comes in here again. But we'll be saying 4 things here, the clarity, consistency, motivation, and feedback. For clarity, like I said earlier, can users tell in 3 seconds what the product is about? Think of it. If you're a founder here, just, think of that at the back of your mind now. That the product you are building, the product you're about to launch, whatnot. In the first 3 to 5 seconds, max, can users know what they are here for? If they can't, then there is a problem. You need to go back to the drawing board and iterate on how best to optimize your product so users can understand what it is in the first 3 to 5 seconds. So let's move on to motivation. Is there a clear reason for a user to take the next step? Exactly. I've mentioned this also. Why should I press the button continue? Why should I check my transactions? Why should I do an action? Why should I perform an action? There has to be a why. And the why should not be linked to what you think should be the why. Note, the why should be linked to what the user have in mind. It is one thing for your why to be what you think the user has in mind. It's another thing for it to be a why that the user actually have in mind. So we should know the difference between these two and stick to that. Then consistency. Does the product feel like it's one person that built it? Does the product feel like it's one person that built it? There are a lot of people that, when they build product, it's like one person did one side, another person did one side, and you'll be like, this thing is not cohesive. I can't feel this frictionless flow from one sector or one segment of the application to another. That is friction, and friction leads to drop rates.
So there should be consistency in your application in terms of colors, in terms of icons, in terms of the arrangement, the layout, everything should be frictionless. Then feedback. I also mentioned this earlier. Does your interface talk about when I perform an action, do I see success? Or is showing like a loading, okay, in a way, giving me feedback while I'm waiting. There's progress indications, that type of thing. Very, very important. Very, very important in your application. Then the UX pyramid. These are steps and basically in order priority. So the first thing that the user considers, and a founder should consider when building the product. First of all, the first thing, is my product useful? And I'm not talking of useful to you. You are a founder. You should not consider that. Is this product useful to people out there? What is this solving? What is this solving? Like, can I have a problem now and consider your product as a solution? That type of thing. That is what we say, is your product useful? The next thing, is your product usable? Useful and usability are two different things. When we are talking of usability, we are talking about the fact that your product is easy to navigate. Is it something I open and I'm like, yes, I want to use this product. I really want to use it. But I open, I'm like, just let me finish what I want to do and leave this application real quick. As we are sitting down currently wherever we are, we can think of a couple of products that we know we've come across. And if we can just itemize 2 or 3 that we use frequently, ask yourself, why do you think you use this product frequently? That is how we can also know how, because as founders, we are also users, right? There are products we also use day to day. So if you can ask yourself that question, what's drawing me back to this product I use every day? Is it because it's a non-essential to my life? Now, consider the feelings when you are using the product. Is it that it's just because I just have to use it, no alternative? If there's a product like that, believe you me, if another founder comes up and create a product like that, but it's way usable, that you feel comfortable, everybody will move from the product that they are struggling to use, right? So just, ask yourself these questions. Then, does your product bring clarity? Is it clear? Now, if you look at a fintech product, there are some places that they will put that, or most applications, or won't even use fintech. For instance, your WhatsApp, they put your chats are end-to-end encrypted, something like that, right? They are just trying their best to be transparent as possible, that, okay, feel safe to use this product. We are not spying on your data, that type of thing, even though we know, okay, I'm not going to talk about that, but you get what I'm trying to say. So there should be clarity in your products. Then the next thing, is your product accessible? That's in terms of, can everyone use your product, at least your target audience? For instance, let's say a visually impaired person, maybe the person cannot see some specific colors. Now, did you consider that while building your product, or will it be a problem for those people when they're using your product? Then the last thing is beauty. A lot of founders, and aside founders, a lot of people make that mistake. They tend to prioritize beauty. They can put beauty maybe in the second or third. Nah, beauty is always the last. Beauty is always the last. Aesthetics, functionality. There is this phrase I like saying: aesthetics brings people to your product, but functionality keeps them with your product. Aesthetics is beauty. I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to check this product out. But it is when I know it is functional that I will keep on using your product. So that's just that for the UX pyramid. Let's move on to the tiny UX habits that increase success. But this thing is just like repetition, because we basically, mentioned one or two. So removing friction, number 1, removing friction. I don't want to have to think before performing an action on your app. It should be seamless. It should feel like I'm not even using it. There's this thing they say, good designs. How do they put that phrase? Good designs speak for itself or something like that. Basically, a good design, a good product is a product that I don't have to think before using it. I just carry it and I perform my transaction. I perform my activity. I just check what I want to check. It is when a user is consciously thinking about the action, then there's a problem in your product. There's a problem with your product. Add contextual help. Yes, we know that there are some niche that not everybody can be familiar with it. I mean, when we're doing introduction, a couple of people were mentioning some products, and I was like, wow, these are not niche that everyone can be familiar with. But now, when it comes to products like that, what do you do? What do you do to inform your users, to educate them on what they are doing and what they're about to do? That's what we call adding contextual help. You can use, there is this mini pop-up something, I'm trying to remember the name, skipping my mind right now, that can just be there to show them, okay, this is what this button is meant for, or this is what you're about to do. So that really helps. Add trust signals, use of your colors. For instance, let's say they are about to perform a dangerous action. You can use red in that point. It's just communicating to the user that, okay, you're about to do, for instance, let's say you want to delete something. Most applications does this, right? You want to delete something. It shows it in red and it shows, are you sure you want to perform this action? Some can even show you this action cannot be undone. Just to tell them that, okay, check what you're about to do again. Or check twice. So relating back to contextual help, there are some applications that when you, for instance, I think Gmail does this, when you delete a mail, within the first 3 seconds, you can undo that action. That is a contextual help. You can undo it. There are people that can just make mistake. You can undo it. Even if you send an email, within the first 3 seconds, I think you can unsend that email, right? So that's also linking to contextual help. Then you add progress indicators. This is very, very important for users to know which screen they are on and how far they've come. This is extremely important so that they can also navigate back easily to where they are coming from on your application. Then I put down other habits that really helps, using empty state to educate and using microcopy that guides users. For instance, let's say I open an application. I don't just want to see blank screen. Tell me what to do. People just tend to, just put blank screen and assume that this is how we know. Okay, I don't know. Tell me what to do. So in that moment, you put an empty state illustration and you can put a text beneath that just shows, there is no, for instance, let's assume transactions now. You can put an empty state illustration and you can just put a text. You have not performed any transaction yet. When you perform a transaction, it shows up here. Or maybe if you are prompting them to do that, you can now put the text there with a call to action button, prompting your users. When there is a call to action button, they know, oh yeah, I can perform this action now. It's not just blank. They are not clueless. So that's really, really helpful in products. Let's move on to what founders should do next. I think there's the last thing. If you build with intention, you won't need to convince your users. They'll convince themselves. The applications that, if we think about it right now, there are some applications we've used that we know people did not, you rarely see the advertisement online. You rarely see any marketing company carrying it. It's because the product sells itself. I mean, if I download it right now and use, I so love it. I will tell my friend, Alpha, download this application and see. And it markets itself. So when founders are building products, they should have this at the back of their mind, that even if marketers don't come in, of course you have to pay marketers if you want your product to scale. But you get what I'm trying to say. Even if marketers don't come in, can my product self-promote? Yes, self-promote. So these are just 4 things that you can consider. You start small and you iterate fast. You start small. You don't just consider everything at once and then package it. You start small, then you iterate from that. From that, you know what next. It brings clarity. And you talk to your users weekly. Yeah, I would just replace this with maybe frequently because it depends on the application. There are some applications that you need to be communicating with users back to back, depending on the complexity of the product. Depending. Then you don't design alone, you design with data. There are products out there that are most likely doing what you are doing. Check these products, check what works, check what does not work, and improve on that. That is how you penetrate the market. That is how you get the attention of people to look at your product. Then you prototype before coding. I've mentioned this. Don't just jump straight into telling your engineers to build out your idea. There should be a process to it. There should be a process to it. The designer or whoever is in charge should, put these things out there. Even if you can't use a software, there are manual methods. Some people use paper and biro. They can just draw how the screen is. They can draw another one and arrange it side by side and see if someone can, identify what screen this is and how to move to the next screen. So there are just different methods you can employ, and there are a lot of AI tools out there now that can even help you with this process. If maybe because of funds, you don't really have access to getting a designer, there are a lot of AI tools out there that you can leverage on, to help you with this process. So all in all, design is a necessity. It is not something that you put by the side and say, you are done. No, design is a necessity. And ensure from the very first start, you consider design principles while building out your products. So I think that was pretty much fast. We've come to the end of my presentation. If anyone has question for me, I'm more than open. Why is this showing this? I'm more than open to taking questions. So yeah, that's all from me for now.
Thank you, Doc. One thing maybe I can request, Doc, is in preparation for the one-on-ones, can you give some things you'd like, some input you'd like from the teams so that you're able to help them with the go-to-market playbook around designs? Some data points that they should provide before the one-on-ones start.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Thank you for bringing that up. So before the one-on-one, I would just love each and every one, the founders, to send me a message with their name, basically, and the products they are building. If there is a link to the product, they can send it across. If they have like a document that they've written out their idea or something like that, they can send it across. Just anything to inform me before the one-on-one session so that I can know how best to prepare and structure my response to help them the best way it should.
Awesome. So what we'll do is there's a form that the teams will be filling by Thursday evening. And that form should have all that information. And so I think if that's sufficient before the one-on-ones, that's well and good.
Yes, that's very, very, very much sufficient. Thank you.
All right. So we'd like to invite any questions around design from anyone here. Feel free to unmute.
If I may take the floor, Matu.
Yes, Yana, go ahead.
What are some of the best design tools that AI design tools, and especially like when the kind of design tools like that are sort of, they can work together. Like say I have a design in Figma or in a design tool, and then incorporating the same design in code becomes easy, like the same exact code. Because my experience with AI and design is that you design a UI with AI, and then when you take it or when you import it through an MCP in your IDE, you find that the kind of UI that's been coded there is totally different from the kind of UI that you had designed.
Okay, awesome question. Awesome question. So, I think most of these AI tools, it depends on how best you prompt them. I know a couple of founders that have used tools like Lovable, even Replit, right? I'm trying to remember another one that I heard of some time ago, but it basically depends on prompting, right? If you can prompt the AI tool to really understand what your product is about, it will help. It will help. So you can start from like the ground up. For instance, there are tools like Whimsical that can help in user journey. So you prompt that, it gives the user journey. You can take it to Lovable. You feed it the user journey. That way, it will have more context to your application, and you keep building on that. So hope that helps.
Yes, it does.
Great. So I'll again invite the founders to introduce themselves in the public chat, in the Telegram. Just say what you're working on and provide any links you have so that we all can start giving you feedback before even the official form is shared. So unless anyone has a question, Pablo, welcome.
Thanks, Matu. I'm actually going through a design iteration right now, and like sometimes it's hard to keep up with the trends and what will work and what's future proof and all that. Do you have any rules or do you have any guidelines as to the design gotchas that we should avoid, and especially around when a design is too dated or too forward thinking? Because like the last time I checked, like material UI was all the rage. Now I don't even know what the new thing is. So how do you balance that?
Okay, great question. Great question. So the thing is, the design world will keep evolving. That's just the truth. People will keep shipping out things to just improve on workflow. So that's why, what I would just say is, first of all, know your non-negotiables, right? Know what you want to build. Then know what you can use, in the sense that the basics, you don't necessarily need to now try to keep up. Now, for instance, let's assume you built an application before Apple brought out their liquid glass something, and your product did not have that in, you didn't really consider that. And now they brought it out, you start rushing. You don't just up on every design trend. You don't just up on everything. Provided what you are using works and it works efficiently, use that. Prioritize that. Then maybe when there is time, when there is the levity of resources and funds, then you can now go back to improve on that. So basically, just know what is effective and what is efficient at that point in time and use it, and you'll be good to go. So does that work?
Yeah, that works.
DocOfDesigns. I want to know how when I'm building using AI, I can make the UI not look like AI. Like what kind of things can I do rather than that thing before like the output during prompting, like the purple gradients and all of that thing.
Okay, okay. Okay, that's a very good question because it's quite evident. You can know products that are built with AI, gradients, just like you mentioned. But the truth is, AI will still be AI, and human knowledge will still be human knowledge. AI has not gotten to the point in advancement where we can literally put it part to part with human outputs. But I believe I'm not so big on using AI for designs, but I believe that there are ways, if you just try to study prompting, I think that would be my shortest answer. Go and research a bit on prompting because I believe that there are ways that you can, in a way, streamline your inputs and tell the AI exactly what to do and it will do it. For now, I just believe you should go and read more on prompting and see how that goes.
I appreciate.
Talking about AI and AI looking design, Fatuma just left, but she had built quite interesting UI for her project. And I think that's one of the first projects I've seen where I can't tell whether it's AI designed. So I think that would be an interesting person to talk to as well, Yano. You can talk to Fatuma, ask her how she went about that. So I think unless there's more questions, let's post in the group what you're working on, share links. Frank?
Yes, I have a question. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, it comes down to design. Before going to design, there is something that you're supposed to do, which is research. There are these two types of research. Okay, I've forgotten them, but the terms. That the first research you have, there is that analytical research. You have to take data, and there is that another research that you have to, like, you take research, you do some research while doing like you do the numbers, and there is that research you do like in terms of surveys, whereby you take the feedback, like the wordings and everything, and you sit down and kind of try to figure out what to do in your as per from the research what you're supposed to do in the design. Now I don't know, are we still at the current age with also with AI too? Are we supposed to, as a designer, are you supposed to do all that process again, from do the research, then from that research that you have gotten, for example, contextual interviews, job shadowing, yeah, remote shadowing, all that stuff? Are you supposed to do all of that stuff in order to, as a founder, as you continue building your startup, in order to make a solid UI UX for your product, or you can skip that with the courtesy of AI?
Okay, great. Thank you for that question. I'm guessing the terms you were trying to remember is qualitative and quantitative research, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's
Awesome. So your question is pretty interesting because I like it. Why? Like you said, AI is there right now to speed our process. I would just say. If we think about it, the advent of technology has gone so far that most of the information that we need can be found online if we dig well, most. Now, in terms of building, if you are looking at what you want to prioritize, if there are limited resources, limited funds, you don't necessarily need to, start doing surveys with like 150 people. There are data available online already that you can leverage on. Then you can also leverage on the people around you. You can just call a group of maybe 5 to 10 people and use them as your research candidates, right? Provided they fit in your target audience. So much later when the products, because obviously from searching online and from the people around you, you will still be able to get valuable feedbacks, valuable research information. Then much later when the product is growing, when there is the availability of funds and availability of time, then you can now invest in that way for the expansion of your product. So did I answer that?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. So I think that question also leads to the importance of community and building with other founders and building in the open. Feel free to reach out to myself or Roslyn once you're done with the mentor one-on-ones. We can organize a group of numbers, a number of people to give you feedback, test your product, give you feedback. This can be online or at the lab. So feel free to reach out to Roslyn or myself or Ochi for that. Doesn't have even to be around UI UX, can be maybe testing, pricing, or just anything around your product. So to stress again, these sessions will be, the output for these sessions will be a go-to-market plan. So start working on that. Start working on the assignments the mentors are giving. On that, they will provide a form where you fill in those details. So if you're able to prepare early, then your responses will be conclusive or detailed enough for the mentors to have good context. So with that, we come to the end of this session. We'll upload the video today, and the mentors are in the group, so feel free to chat them up as well. One-on-ones begin on the 8th. After you've provided responses in the form, the product needs to be deployed already on Scroll. So make sure that is done at least by the 6th or 7th. All right, so thank you very much, DocOfDesigns. See you in the next sessions. Thank you to everyone who came in. And let's meet tomorrow, same time, with a growth marketing session with Ahmad Salim. Come prepared with any questions you have so that he is able to assist comprehensively. So thank you very much and have a good rest of the day.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone.